Holler if you hear me, and welcome to tonight's edition of Art Uncensored. It is the top of the hour, 10 p.m. Eastern, and we've got ourselves another page right here of Justice for One to do. Yes, we are rounding down to that straightaway where, if we keep this going, that means by Saturday we should have this issue finished, which is good, which is nice, and then we can go, and then because of that, extra week or so we'll have left in April, I can then, really plan out the next issue and all that, because these, having Justice for One be a 20-page story per issue means that, the less amount of time dedicated to actually drawing the comic means that then there can be and it also being very visual, or at least this first issue being visual, subsequent issues, how much I'll be able to get away with just doing it visually, considering that, yes, the Jennifer Connelly in Career Opportunities looking streetwalker right here that Zoe right here just saved is somebody that is going to there's going to be a storyline of her and what surviving that attack at the hands of Zoe right here, saving her by shooting them all dead, what that is going to do to her and what she's going to go on to be like afterwards and all that. And well, since she's not mute, there's going to be at least some dialogue and things like that going on with her. While with our lady Zoe right here, yes, it's going to be entirely sterile. And all of that you will see develop over the next 4 months as we get these other 4 issues completed. And then by September, we go on in to getting back into doing full work on Encrypted, of drawing the issues 8 through 11 before the year is out. But still, at that time, remember, we'll have, that being done with those issues. That means that with those issues of Encrypted being finished with the every 2-month schedule, that means that, 95 or 90% of the year's publishing schedule for Encrypted will be complete. And then that means once we get into the new year, then I could go and, maybe theoretically at least do another 7 issues of Justice for One, so that then we could have a full year's worth of Justice for One issues to go ahead and have, because I would plan on, after, like we've said, Justice for One is the thing we'll be doing as a series after we finish Encrypted, whether it goes to the 12 issues I'm dedicated to or past that. And also the plan would be that Justice for One would be a monthly series to go on and go in that way and do, my take on the type of, something that's a hodgepodge of being my take on something like either the, Punisher style Vigilante comics on, more urban crime kind of stories or the more urban street bound kind of stories that you would see like Chuck Dixon do with the less gadget focused, Batman characters, like say his writing on Nightwing. And also Mike Barron and the work he did with other characters besides, the Punisher. There was that Badger comic that he wrote at the same time in parallel, I think, with his Punisher work at Marvel. As well as also just the Abel Ferrara in particular as a filmmaker, between, of course, Miss 45, but Bad Lieutenant and Driller Killer and all that as well, and King of New York as well, all being the kind of things where, it's doing it on this right here. But it's much more small scale compared to, story-wise, small scale compared to Encrypted, which is this, all involving global conspiracies and all kinds of international travel and elaborate gadgets. This one, no, this is about, this is about a vigilante and about copycat killers and all that. Because, yes, the idea would be that having a Zoe right here consistently going out there at night, and just shooting down everybody from mobster, from crime bosses she sees to violent street thugs and all that. She's going to go out there and she's going to, kick ass and take names, and loves to leave witnesses. And well, those witnesses wind up either lying to the cops to protect her from having any kind of identifiable suspect, or it leads to, a coalition of copycat vigilantes, that sort of deal. And well, we may or may not be seeing our streetwalker lady right here going out there and, being the first of those copycat vigilantes. And hello to Puma Fist right there is the first one to come in, because we had Nick and we had RJ both saying hello. Yes, or as RJ says, the only proper body count for the woman. Well, so far here, Zoe's body count is 13, but it will be going more and more in subsequent issues. And then, it'll be a matter of, we don't really know where she's coming from. We don't really know who she is yet. And well, RJ is back, so that's good to see. But because of starting this out where Zoe just wanders in like some, wild gunman in a Western and just going to town, gutting down criminals in cold blood, it's a matter of, well, starting out, you don't know who she is, you don't know where she came from. But, and that is, going to be the mystery leading things along. Well, then with a lady like, say, what we're going on right here with this little streetwalker and the possibility of other, copycat vigilantes that I might be putting into the story, because I actually am contemplating the concept of having a male character that would be, involved in his own sort of, copycat vigilantism, something more along the lines of, I already mentioned Nightwing, but in particular, the like dark reflection, bad breaks in life version of of Nightwing that came from the Chuck Dixon era of Nightwing's comic Night, Nite-Wing, the like big dumb jock who had bad parents and was in orphanages and no education and all that. So he just winds up being the type of, well-meaning violent street thug who just kills every criminal he sees, but also has the constitution of having no superpowers, but can be gunned down by mobsters and live. Now that part in the early issues of Nightwing's, a monthly book of a solo comic where, there's the Nightwing, he shows up, bam, 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 and he fucker somehow survives. I know because I've got those two Nightwing compendiums that DC did. There are other compendiums they have, which pretty much they've now been having printed in lieu of those slimmer trade paperbacks for a lot of the more interesting 90s or 2000s stuff that DC was publishing, between, reprinting Superman Adventures that, had Scott McCloud writing and then Mark Miller writing, which was the only extended run on writing Superman that Mark Miller ever got to do. And then, of course, there's Starman, the James Robinson version of Starman that debuted in the wake of the 0 Hour crossover event. And that was like the biggest success that the 0 Hour event had, with all the new characters and new titles that they started. I think Starman was the one who lasted past like the first year or two. And that's one where I've heard a lot of great things about Starman, but I've never read it. I get people made the analogy of like, it feels like a Vertigo book in the mainstream DC universe, which is what I would say about, Hitman right here, which was Garth Ennis's first big, like, new character work he did in the 90s of his own, of original creation of Garth Ennis's in America. Because before then, he got, there was, of course, the work on The Demon, and The Demon was where he introduced the Tommy Monahan Hitman and all that, and had been writing at the same time Hellblazer. And then from doing Hitman, then came, The Boys and his Punisher work, all the military comics he's been writing and things like that, including Westerns, straightforward Westerns instead of a Western-ish story like what Preacher was supposed to be, like Streets of Glory being a Western he did that Avatar Press published with that Mike Wolfer being his artist on that. And RJ says, unless it would be a little too subversive, it would be interesting in if one vigilante in your story isn't harmed by crime directly and becomes a vigilante, but is mad authorities are unwilling or unable to stop it. Well, that actually would be something that would be, one of the most obvious ideas to really put into the story would be seeing, this rash of vigilante killings, and then somebody who's just seeing it on the news, which I believe was the inspiration for when the Ninja Turtles comic came up with Casey Jones. It was Kevin Eastman's idea of how and remember, they were doing those comics originally in the mid 80s, which was the era of, movies like Cobra and Rambo 2 and Death Wish 3 and all that. And it's always like somebody is a tortured war veteran, or somebody's family gets killed, or someone they love gets raped. And it was Kevin Eastman came up with the idea of, what if somebody just became a vigilante just because, and just had like a bag of sporting goods, like a golf bag full of sporting goods, and use that as, improvised weapons to just fight crime. And that's where Casey Jones came from. Something like that is a little more straightforward, a little more of that sort of 90s Batman era Chuck Dixon style writing, or when Chuck Dixon would write The Punisher, and put that towards like somebody who, someone less gun fixated and more say like, what would happen if you had like an MMA type of guy, or a would-be MMA type of guy out there on the streets? like either a Randy Couture type or somebody who wishes they were Randy Couture, who would come on in and would be able to go, like, say, picture like a more Paul Kersey serial vigilante version of that veteran who took down that psycho crazy black dude on the subway who had been through a revolving door of jails and prisons and mental health hospitals and all that. And the press tried to lie about him being some gentle, kindly Michael Jackson impersonator who was ruthlessly murdered by an evil white man who feared and hated and wanted to end him because of his melanin. No, that was a mental patient psychopath who was assaulting and threatening people on a subway. And a man had to subdue him, and then unfortunately subdued him into an early grave, just like how George Floyd was not killed by a racist cop that was overzealous. He was killed by an overdose, and the coroner's report reported that. That's why the coroner's report was doctored and repressed in order to give Al Sharpton the talking point you wanted to see, which is, the most blatant form of lying about the facts to give black militant race hustlers the fake outrage merchant a little product that they wanted this side of that little Broderick trial that Sharpton went and signal boosted all over the press. If you remember, yes, that girl who Bromley, Juanita Bromley. I was thinking Juanita Bromley was the name of the girl who lied about getting raped by evil white man. And Sharpton, of course, was like a black male Gloria Allred. He used this, fake victimhood to go and signal boost himself all over the TV, or like with Gloria Steinem, signal boosting the lies of Larry Flint's daughter of accusing him of assault when the movie about him starring Woody Harrelson was coming out. And of course, there she was as like an appendage to Gloria Steinem's self-aggrandizing, raging against the Larry Flint machine and all that, including an appearance on, exposed sex criminal Charlie Rose. Yeah, that. Juanita Bromley, that was the girl. Juanita Broderick was one of the earliest rape accusers of Bill Clinton. And also including the Miss Arkansas turned actress, a little Miss Elizabeth Ward Grayson, who also accused Clinton of assaulting her back in the days when he was just simply governor of Arkansas. So I want to remind you that Elizabeth Ward Grayson, a woman who co-starred with Steven Seagal, has rape allegations towards Bill Clinton and not Steven Seagal. Yes. Keep that in mind. Oh, yes. But yes, the unable to stop it and all that, like it wouldn't, that's most definitely something that you're going to eventually, in general, the reason why all those kind of vigilante movies were happening first in the 70s, but they were more, like edgy, poignant, like urban crime dramas where you get the first Death Wish or you get, like the Dirty Harry series and all that. And then in the 80s, with the influx of, the Ronald Reagan era and Kick-Ass and Take Names, rightfully, the righteous and justified kicking ass and taking names and ending all urban crime scum. Because as bad as it was in the 70s, the urban crime, remember, was still happening in cities that just because Ronald Reagan was president doesn't mean that the cities where all of this shit that leads to real life Paul Kersey's and real life Harry Callahan's, they don't disappear. If anything, out of rage and spite to a Republican being in the White House, the Democrat governors and Democrat senators and Democrat mayors of Democrat-controlled major cities commie harder and make them more dangerous and violent and uninhabitable. Hence why you wound up exploding into glorified superheroes with those characters in those type of vigilante movies, or cops that, enforce the law even if they have to break the law. And that's where you get, Cobra. That's where he gets Stallone with what he says to the Night Slasher, as played by Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat Annihilation, before he goes and gives him the death of the T-1000 in the metalworks, in the steelworks. This is where the law stops and I start. Exactly. And that is a little bit of a fact that the left-wing scum out there don't ever want to admit, that the more you restrict law-abiding citizens' right to defend themselves with their constitutionally enshrined right to bear arms, you only lead to them being more victimized by street thugs who don't obey the law, so they get those guns and use them and illegally use them, and they're buying them on the streets of their cities, even though you have such strict gun laws. And shit like when Obama was lying about the gun show loophole in the neighboring state to Illinois to defend his, quote unquote, home city of Chicago being being basically the other city besides LA. It and LA fight over who gets to be the Shangri-La of urban violence and death and destruction, despite having all of the most stringent gun laws, despite the corrupt Democrat politicians beating the city into submission with a socialism stick, and that cultural enrichment that rich white liberals talk about really just leads to law-abiding citizens getting victimized and brutalized and subjugated by disgusting criminal garbage. But that disgusting criminal garbage that's 90% black and brown on the streets, they are glorified foot soldiers for the uniformly white liberal scumbags with some of their race hustling little business partners outside of elected office. That's where you get your Al Sharptons and all that. And hence why Stacey Abrams had more political exposure and more artificial signal boosting importance to the Democratic Party after irrefutably losing that election in Georgia, and then left-wing politicians coping and seething so badly about how much they wanted to plant her into quote-unquote elected office in Georgia that they had to go and build an entire documentary that was one giant coping and seething and also a hug box for Abrams to completely spout off a bunch of stuff that they'll talk about all the different ways that elections can be rigged, but they only ever talk about how these things can be done, but don't actually bring any real evidence to go and connect how any of this was actually being done by people that were trying to keep Stacey Abrams out of office. That any of these ways that you can, you can ballot harvest, or that you can go and manipulate voting machines and things like that, are things that actually have any real, these things that could theoretically happen, but no actual concrete examples of how this stuff did happen to subvert this election and keep Stacey Abrams out of elected office. Because, no, wait, they didn't. And then, because remember, it's the confession through projection time, then all those things they said of how people could go and rig elections, then the Democratic Party actually did to rig Joe Biden being planted into the White House so he could then be a skin suit for an auto pen. Then, of course, everybody from Morning Joe to John Oliver is going out of their way to suddenly repress and ignore having an entire fucking documentary dedicated to talking about all these things that could be done to cheat elections, that, all these lawyers and all these people involved at various levels of elections, from either the local election of just people that were recorders and vote tabulations and all that stuff going on in single counties, to at major city levels, to at statewide levels, that were saying all of this stuff is showing cheating happening. And yet all of them were just screamed away and shouted down. Not that, people like South Park ever would go and acknowledge that, but keep on lying about how they make fun of both sides equally. Oh, yeah. And how many times did aging hippie liberal douche appear beyond that one episode where they came up with the obnoxious and beat into your head, they took our jabs joke? Where, they took our jabs, rednecks have appeared incessantly, repeatedly, year after year after year, that they go and get to make a return appearances, but not aging hippie liberal douche. Yeah, you want to keep on saying that South Park makes fun of both sides equally? It reminds me of how I actually appreciate the smug, entitled, textbook, liberal, neurotic, projecting their narcissism agenda of shows like a Family Guy, where a Family Guy is at least honest about how much Seth MacFarlane wishes, while he goes and will have shows dedicated to spouting disproven agitprop about the evil right-wingers and all their guns, and how they are responsible for all the gun violence that happens in exclusively Democrat states and cities, and also how all of them are ignorant, blood-hungry bigots that are psychos, and they're all just overcompensating for how they are weak-willed and soy-based and have little dicks. And then take a good long look at the guys who act, and then take a real look at those prolific gun owners and those NRA members and all that. And they are all the guys that used to either ignore people like Jon Stewart or John Oliver or everybody on camera at CNN or MSNBC, or would go and, make fun of them. Every cartoon stereotype of all the jocks and all the military bros that are everybody that someone like Jon Stewart wishes they could be, and the fact that those people have more of an influence in America now than he does is leading him to his testosterone-deprived, middle-aged Hollywood elitist losing his influence rage, where he can't go 5 seconds without screaming into the camera what's the socialist talking points coming off his prompter. And that goes quintuple for Colbert. And I'd like to remind you that despite all of the artificial importance that's been put on Colbert or Jon Stewart, which is almost as much of an artificial level of importance as Stacey Abrams had, remember, even at the height of their completely media fabricated popularity, Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, with their shows on Comedy Central, were losing in the ratings on their own network. Not even basic cable in general, just apple to apple. Comedy Central show, other Comedy Central shows. Remember, the Colbert Report and the Daily Show were losing in the ratings to Mind of Mencia. Mind of Mencia was getting better ratings than the Daily Show and the Colbert Report when it was on the air on Comedy Central. And I'm pretty sure that in the days before full TDS came for Daniel Tosh, that even Tosh.0 had better ratings than good old Jon Stewart or good old Colbert. Now, I don't know, or I've never seen any examples of Colbert or Stewart when they were on Comedy Central bashing, the Mind of Mencia or Daniel Tosh for that. But then, of course, you did have Jim Jeffries, who came and went on a failed attempt to have a Daily Show ripoff with an Australian accent. And he did directly go and take a swipe at the show that having Tosh.0 as a lead-in was the only reason he ever even had a chance at any kind of rating success. But the fact that despite all of the communist algorithm signal boosting of his gun control speech that had no punchlines, even though it was supposed to be a segment in somebody doing a stand-up comedy act on a Netflix special, that's what led to Jim Jeffries getting his Australian accented Daily Show wannabe on Comedy Central, that despite having Tosh.0 as a lead-in, got no ratings and was prohibitively expensive to make. And because Jim Jeffries did not have a type of long entrenched connections in Hollywood and the Democratic Party, his Herculean salary and the expenditures on international travel requiring production costs for a show was not getting justified with ratings or having the right connections to go and just keep the network deficit spending on keeping a show in the air for completely pure left-wing Democrat propaganda purposes, that they just decided to cancel him after 3 years, which is still 3 more years than like 95% of other Comedy Central shows have ever allowed to have. I mean, no wonder Nick Swartzen in his stand-up act since then has talked about the origin of the Terry character he would do on Reno 911, and now he was approached about it by, I believe, Thomas Lennon himself with the show about, we're doing this cops parody that's going to be all improvised on Reno on Comedy Central. We want you to go and play this character who's like a male prostitute who's like really flamingly fucking gay. And like, would you do it? And Swartzen said, like, a cops parody that's all improvised? Okay, it'll be like a one-off job, a quick check, and nothing will come of it. 8 seasons and a movie later, now everyone in the world is going to, now I'm going to go to the grave with 90% of the world that recognizes me thinking I'm gay because, and even other stand-up bits, like when he did a Comedy Central special, he's like, everyone thinks I'm gay, which is understandable. I played a gay roller skating male prostitute on TV. People will go up to me and be like, you're fucking gay, dude. I'm like, why? He says, because you play that Terry. He's like, yeah, I'm playing Terry. I'm acting. Tobey Maguire is not really Spider-Man. And RJ says, Jeffries, like Trevor Noah and Corden, only got by on having an accent. Once it was up to skill, they flamed out. And James Corden was especially bad on account of all the shit that came forward from him showing about how all of his, relatable, fat, funny guy with the English accent shtick was all performative shtick. That even the stupid thing of the, car drive karaoke thing was being staged where he wasn't even driving. And then all the reports of him having these violent episodes when going out to eat and reports of him mistreating his crew and all of that on right there on the show. all came forward, so it all just came crashing down, and now he just, slinked away back to the UK. Which makes that bit of seeing him when he was still just a star in British TV, where he appeared on an episode of Doctor Who, where he got headbutted by Matt Smith, that is now all the more beautiful to think about by comparison. Yes, but the first time I ever saw James Corden was when he was still just like a big Who as a guest star on Doctor Who, where he appeared in an episode, and yes, him getting headbutted. To me, he just looked like fat British Sean Astin, but nowhere near as likable or charming. Like, picture Sean Astin in Encino Man, but fatter and completely unlikable. Yeah, picture Sean Astin in Encino Man with the long-term likability of Pauly Shore. And yes, of course, Trevor Noah just being the worst example of somebody where you have the worst example of someone coming into Hollywood with an accent and believing their own PR about how having an accent in Hollywood automatically makes you so much smarter and better than everyone else in the room, combined with the millennial cultural Marxist melanin delusions of grandeur. That is almost on that level of an Al Sharpton or Jordan Peele. Yeah, no wonder he's grateful to be going back to doing stand-up. And the fact that, well, despite how if Steven Crowder so much as breathes in the general direction of a black person, TikTok will screech about how much of an evil bigot he is, but an old white guy going and getting the job back from the younger, more inclusive, more progressive person who he was supposed to be replacing in the first place, that's something where, oh yeah, where's the outrage about that? Or is it that, there is the gag order, there is the code of silence on that because, like I said about Jon Stewart, he has all the right connections long-term from Hollywood and the Democratic Party. So all of the clickbait merchants that still have non-flashbacks about Gamergate aren't allowed to go and do clickbait articles and do breadtrooper outrage-mongering video essays about the white privilege of Jon Stewart going and taking a job away from Trevor Noah. When is Lindsay Ellis going to peek up through her 19th empty wine bottle today to go and do a 3-hour video about that? And that goes quintuple for Vosh. Just saying. And, well, unlike Lindsay Ellis, we have a talent portion to get to, so let's go and get to that. And something that both in story content and just visually is going to most definitely make somebody like Lindsay Ellis incredibly angry. Here is 2 large-breasted women, one displaying without saying to the other about how guns are good in defending yourself from criminal maniacs or from scaring away potential criminal maniacs. In case you wonder why all of those Antifa and BLM violent riots and all that happen never happen in cities or states where there is a firmly established level of Republicans involved in political office. And by that I mean having concealed carry be allowed, so that the potential 45 caliber rebuttal to, say, the gay Asian journalist Andy Ngo getting a brain hemorrhage when recovering an Antifa demonstration in, I believe, Portland. Yeah, imagine them trying to do that if that Asian Nathan Lane could potentially go miss 45 on them. Just saying. In case you wonder why Jimmy Kimmel has such a deathly personal fear of guns. Knowing how much of an unprosecuted sex criminal Jimmy Kimmel is, you damn well know that Miss 45 or Sandra Locke's character in Sudden Impact are the worst nightmares of a Hollywood establishment shit for brains like him. And when it comes to seeing the complete decline of left-wing dogma in the political world and in the social world and in the Hollywood world, well, now there is, of course, the exposure about how the Southern Poverty Law Center has been caught stealing money to go and financially signal boost the likes of the KKK and the Aryan Brotherhood in order to go and have them do blatantly staged for the sake of social media and news media optics that benefit the manufactured narratives of CNN and MSNBC, like the whole Jews will not replace us, tiki torch wielding angry white mobs involved in good old Charlottesville. Oh yeah, all of it funded by the Southern Poverty Law Center, stealing money and funneling it to them to stage those events. If you want to know how that was staged right-wing performative bullshit for media attention, remember, your boy Zach was there at those Charlottesville demonstrations. So you damn well know it's performative horseshit by somebody with some kind of federal or military connections, staging things that tell left-wing leaning parasites what they want to hear. And that was before the your boy Zach's appearance on the Jim Jeffries show. And hello to Mark Daly. We've been meaning to ask you, how has the beginning of your chemo been going? Because I know yesterday was the beginning of what you literally said would be gut check time. So let's hope it all is going well. And yes, that the Southern Poverty Law Center stages racism incidents so they can fundraise against them. And also they were raising those funds so that then they could go and fund those staged right-wing demonstrations. Yeah, that is a federally protected equivalent to the Jussie Smollett attack, or quote unquote, or when BLM activists were caught logging into their social media sock accounts through a library's computer lab so that they could send themselves racist death threats. And then these people were stupid enough to then go and get the police involved in investigating, and the cops went and investigated and found that, oh yeah, these BLM activists were sending themselves these death threats through fake white supremacist social media sock accounts. Just like how there was a homophobic graffiti that was being tagged on a church, and then a private investigator was hired to go and investigate it, and he was able to figure out that this homophobic graffiti was planted by the openly gay organist that the church had hired. And yes, let's all hope you're feeling better right there, Mark. And now, I was thinking about all this because we've got Steven Crowder, of course, talking about this, but also Razorfist talking about this. And let's get this, boot this baby up for you. I don't know why Thrift Books is now getting advertised, but I appreciate the thriftbooks.com ads. They come and go here and there. I don't know why, but I see them sometimes. And Mark's update is not too bad. More serious side effects haven't manifested, though only, it's been one day. Liver getting much better. Okay, so then I guess that means that with, the potential for Michigan to win it all in men's hockey or the upcoming football season, that means you're just going to have to celebrate, maybe with some ribs. And, and put down the beer, I'm guessing.
A used book from Thrift.
And considering all of the, clickbait vipers that are attacking Andy Weir over a little comment he made about political agendas alienate him from stories, and now with his novel, Project Hail Mary, being made into this hit Ryan Gosling movie, I bet you the same people are now going to be going after Thrift Books for having this ad where it shows, a used copy of Project Hail Mary. Oh, Jesus. Mark brings up lumbar puncture tomorrow. A little nervous about that. Yeah. Puncture like that definitely is understandable to be afraid of.
Books. You're not just saving money.
In or around the year 2017, a leather-clad lad with a skin tone of Tilda Swinton said in response to the obvious AstroTurf at Charlottesville something to the effect of, "This is what happens when the demand for racism exceeds the supply." And well,
the Southern Poverty Law Center, in a massive sweeping indictment, has been charged with allegations of fraud and using the banking system to perpetrate that fraud. I just want to talk about a couple of brief things here. The Southern Poverty Law Center themselves.
Yeah, those weird inhalations, it kind of reminds me of Steven Seagal, those clips I've shown. like that one interview he did for the talk show interview he did that JonTron was making fun of, where he keeps on snorting like every other sentence. That's what it kind of sounds like. Yeah, the lumbar puncture tomorrow. He's nervous about that, says Mark, but that's contingent on getting my platelet counts with platelet infusion, getting some tonight. All right, well, that's all. Cheers for the success of the platelet infusion.
Advertise to raise money to dismantle violent extremist groups for a period of at least a decade. They use their donor network to raise money to purportedly dismantle violent extremist groups. However, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, used the money they raised from their donor network to actually pay the leadership of these very groups. The groups, as the general laid out, include the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, Unite to Right.
And do not forget the irrefutable fact that it was Democrats in the Deep South who went there and formed the Ku Klux Klan back in the 1800s. Do not forget that. Do not forgive. Do not forget. You know, it was a video from Larry Elder's old YouTube channel that showed all those details I remember, including things like, well, how, you know, George Wallace, the face of the political establishment politicians that were going against integration, you know, the man who was famous for saying segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. Yeah, that man turns out was a lifelong Democrat, Mr. George Wallace. Yeah, it's funny that both then and now the biggest KKK contributors are the Dems. You know, just like, you know, how this is all about Dems keeping their cheap brown labor. Yes, you know, wanting to keep all the Mexican illegals because, yeah, well, they're counting on them for glorified serf labor and for the sex trafficking and for the drug trafficking and for the illegal vote farming.
National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement, the Aryan Nation Motorcycle Club, and the National Socialist Party of America, and also the American Front.
A Democrat activist group funding socialism? Socialist agitation groups? Who could have guessed?
When I made those remarks, I was accused of conspiracy mongering. And while it's true I'm more paranoid than a furry LARPing in the forest on the opening.
But now looking at this, you can most definitely see, well, at this point, you might as well just call Razorfist Agent Mulder. He might as well start, you know, munging on those sunflower seeds in a three-piece suit and telling a skeptical redhead sexy doctor lady that the truth is out there.
Day of hunting season. In this case, the term conspiracy ain't at all applicable. Reality in no way requires an occult cabal of high-back chair enthusiasts orchestrating all and sundry from the shadows. I would forward instead a far less elevated claim. Not conspiracy, but basic political tactics. Analogy time, folks. You're in a war. It's going about as well as the last 25 years of New York Mets baseball. Your army's exhausted, they're undermanned, demoralized, and facing certain extinction. Do you A, quietly await your impending death? B, sneak behind enemy lines and poison them bitches? Or C, charge at them like Eric Swalwell on an OnlyFans whore? If you chose anything but B, do yourself a favor and never play Command and Conquer. It's not cloak and dagger. It's bait and tackle. I've been banging this drum longer and harder than, well, Swalwell and that OnlyFans whore. But it is not sufficiently appreciated the existential dilemma Democrats faced following 2016 and 2024. And it's time to say this out loud. It was more than mere electoral annihilation. Despite population advantages propping up deep blue burgs in every state across the country and more fraud than Bernie Madoff's MasterCard, the complete collapse of their coalition and a near total public opinion reversal on every one of their pet issues, from gay marriage to the increasingly murderous Troon platoon.
All the progress they made with all the agitprop from all those unwatchable yet blindly critically acclaimed shows produced by Alan Ball and Ryan Murphy, all now wasted on that slippery slope, turning out to not be a fallacy but a complete fucking fact. And, well, what do you think is more humiliating for Eric Swalwell to have been caught doing? Fucking an OnlyFans thought or fucking a Chinese spy? I'll leave that to you to decide. And, well, and RJ brings up, yes, they do show in that picture that was just shown there from that movie, we see John Cryer. And after learning John Cryer was a contributor to Swalwell, it makes I know which Luthor is the stupidest one. Well, when you cast the stupid nephew of Lex Luthor from Superman 4 to play Lex Luthor, yeah, that's when stunt casting based off of actors in previous previous Superman productions has gone critical mass of bad idea. Having Annette O'Toole be a regular on Smallville is all right, and then occasionally having a big stunt cast guest star like bringing in Christopher Reeve or Helen Slater for an episode or two. But then when it goes to full bore, you remove Dean Cain from the show for the crime of voting Trump, and then expect us to take Lex Luthor seriously when he's being played by any cast member of 2.5 Men, let alone the character that the writing staff used as the vessel for projecting about how much they fucking hate themselves and want to vicariously live through Charlie Sheen, but can never be Charlie Sheen's character. Yeah. It's fucking sad. And Mark says, the OnlyFans is more embarrassing. The Chinese spy is the most treasonous. Dude should be in jail for that months ago. Yes. But of course, Jon Stewart likes him, so he's not going to go. You can't put him in jail because then Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert are going to get really mad. And in this fucked up Hollywood leftist world where a senator like Al Franken gets more long-term consequences and is deplatformed from his political career over spurious Me Too allegations, then Jimmy Kimmel irrefutably violating FCC regulations. Yeah, the deranged world that the left lives in, they are going to go down swinging. Just remember, Jonestown was communist, so they communist thought control in left-wing elites involved in California politics. Of course, they would rather poison themselves than admit that what they're doing is failing and wrong. Arja says, I still think the spy, because if it was Bai Ling, I can get betraying your country, not someone that guy would have found at any blue state university girl. Yes. No. And well, considering I got Mark right here, I mean, it's not even like when you look at that girl, it's not even like, college age Lucy Liu in the early 90s. No, it's, one of those ladies that's just, a bad breakup and no carb control away from looking like one of those ugly fat Asian bitches that Hollywood keeps trying to shove into, Netflix movies and Netflix shows and big budget movies like Tron Ares or The Last Jedi. And notice that they put a septuagenarian actress with a 90s sci-fi background into another woke shit legacy sequel for a Disney production like Tron, but they barely give Gillian Anderson anything to do in Tron Ares, as opposed to Laura Dern with her glorified #resist power fantasy character in The Last Jedi. Might it not have anything to do with Laura Dern being a Nepo baby, while Gillian Anderson, to her credit, actually earned her career?
Dems weren't looking at a loss or even several. They were staring down the double barrel of outright extinction. It's only after you admit this aloud that the abject desperation connoted by the great fortification of 2020 makes the slightest bit of sense. Not to mention the ongoing op we're witnessing at present. Look, to anyone who's been paying attention, the SPLC bankrolling bigotry to undermine the opposition is about as surprising as a Reddit mod who owns a cat. I'd love to finger flip and chair spin here. In fact, fuck you, I was right, fuck you, I was right. But truth is, I had company in calling this op out. As a regular viewer of the recently departed Scott Adams, that dude had SPLC pinned to the wall like Elijah Schaefer on a 12-year-old boy.
Now, the SPLC has refused to list Antifa as an extremist group.
The power to save lives is within you. Donate plasma and get paid for your time.
What? Are you kidding me? And the reason I ask is because at one point, I don't know if he's still on there, but at one point, Dr. Ben Carson was on their list. If Ben Carson made the threshold, according to them, but Antifa has not. So obviously,
it's like how when you go to the Wikipedia page for Gamergate, they immediately in the first sentence refer to them as a harassment group, but ISIS is not referred to as a terrorist group in the first sentences of their Wikipedia page. What communist algorithmic bias?
the SPLC is not a legitimate organization.
Meanwhile, the SPLC has labeled the Turning Point USA organization a hate group, and they've added them to their hate map. Now, remember how I always tell you that if you know what happened, you might not know anything. But if you know who was involved, well, now you might know something. If your job is to identify ghosts, are you going to find any ghosts? Of course you will, because you get paid for it. If your job is to identify hate groups, are you going to find some new hate groups every year? Or are you going to find all the ones that exist, and then you say, you know, we don't even need any funding for the next year. I don't even know why we have a staff. We found all the hate.
What's that? Marxism's popular as poop shoot cancer thanks to Venezuela, China, and every 8th anthropology major under the yellow sun? Quick, to the cash cannons. Fund the 5 remaining racists under the yellow sun. Organize them all under a sketchy prick in a peacoat who will mysteriously disappear 10 minutes after Charlottesville pops off, never to be sighted again. Color me skeptical, but I suspected the khaki clan might be an op around the time Patriot Front put the word front in their name. Pinko commies paying people to be racist? Who knew the solution for socialism's demise was the free market? And talk about inefficient. You're paying to conjure the same spirit of ethnic antipathy the average citizen already cultivates in a single trip to the Department of Motor Vehicles? I actually spent most of my morning at the DMV today. I'm actually recording this rant to remind myself what the English language sounds like. Gavin McInnes also watched his Proud Boys organization slowly go the way of payola, and as such, as an early whistleblower, he knew all about the SPLC shenanigans. Who knew racism pays better than the average Uber gig? Though I guess that is apropos, as groypers are about the only thing more brown than my last Uber driver. I guess I'd have more patience for those who doubt the truth of this hypothesis if it hadn't already been repeatedly proven before and after every major election cycle since 2016. Before and after 2018, the Red Mirage narrative was pushed suspiciously loudly by many of the same black pillars bloviating about a lack of electoral solutions at present. Before and after 2020, enough said. It was even worse, and for obvious reasons. And before and after 2022, we saw an even more severe expression of the self-same syndrome. Even ahead of 2024, many of the same voices now insisting all is lost were either outright endorsing Kamala or prophesying with certitude that we were donezo before even a single ballot was cast. I know because I screenshotted their flagrant attempts to demoralize as they emerged. I still have a master folder stacked to the rafters with your retardation. Some of the same voices who claim we've kicked it all the way back then will brazenly appear in this comment section and push back on the rant I am recording at present. And I see through you like a Victoria's Secret camisole. Circumstances change, but the black-pilled bedwetting is eternal. What are you people on exactly? Apart from welfare, I mean. It's nice to have the confirmation and all, but keep your cash, Southern Poverty Law Center. Some of us tell racist jokes for the love of the game. I'm Razor Fist. Godspeed.
It would have been more intellectually honest if they just went and funded them with a Patreon. You know, like what went on with our boys out there, like, oh yeah, Anita Sarkeesian, where she scammed Kickstarter and got Kickstarter donations for a video series that she had already been recording and editing. Yeah, bite me, bitch. Just saying, just saying. So do you want to see a little more of classic Steven Seagal? I mean, classic Steven Seagal, I mean the Jason Brand's channel mocking the fuck out of Seagal. Oh, de passe, for another day. And girl, it's all right. Girl, it's all right. You for another day. Yes, the Relentless asks, are you in the bathtub? No, that's my turtle tank in my bedroom. I've got my bedroom door open, Relentless, and that's my turtle tank that's out there. That's what the water is. It's the turtle tank. Well, RJ likes mocking Seagal. Let's ask Relentless if she likes mocking Steven Seagal. As we make sure she gets a nice shot of right here, the streetwalker that Our Lady Zoe just saved from 7 rapists that are all bleeding out in the grass of Central Park at night. Then again, remember, Our Lady right here being stupid enough to think that wandering through Central Park at night was a good idea. Yeah. She, no, take it as a life lesson and example of good luck that, you know, a lady vigilante came and saved her from her fate. Okay, yes. Yeah, my pet turtle Gamera that my sister got me when we visited Chicago's Chinatown when I visited her for Christmas. Yes, my little turtle friend Gamera. And yes, I did directly get the name from the monster movie, yes. Gamera is really neat. He is made of turtle meat. We all love Gamera. And well, Relentless likes the top panel the best. Well, as I've said before, and you might have seen, but Our Lady right here, the protagonist, Zoe Saraya, is drawn to look like Nicole Kidman in Batman Forever. Yes, the woman who made the little boy me a man when I saw her in Batman Forever. And here down here, our streetwalker is modeled on Jennifer Connelly in Career Opportunities. I've already killed you, but I have this now. Oh, yes. Career Opportunities, the ones that never knock, but certainly something about her knocks. Yes, what big knockers. And now let's go and add a little bit right here to the... Let's do a little photo negative with the smoke. And good, it's all right. Girl, it's all right. We for another day. Good, it's all right. Rolanda says, remember how Farrah had the word sex in her hair in that One Piece swimsuit poster? That I have never heard of. I've heard of, Dark Side of the Moon synchronizing with the Wizard of Oz. I've heard about how, yeah, there would be like subliminal messages put into advertising and things like that. But I didn't know anything about that being a thing with Farrah Fawcett with that famous One Piece poster of her. Yeah, her in the red swimsuit with, very erect nipples. Rolanda says, oh yeah, it's in her hair. This is news to me. I'll go and let's go and look this up. Let's go and see this. I gotta look this up. Here's one. The Museum of Hoaxes is the first result. And then below that, the Wikipedia Farrah Fawcett red swimsuit poster. Yes, it's so iconic that Farrah Fawcett's swimsuit poster has its own Wikipedia page, just like how Raquel Welch's fur bikini in 1 million years BC has its own Wikipedia page. And yes, I do have an 8x10 of that I have up on my wall. Rolinda says, I was wondering if you ever do that in your drawings. Nope, I don't. I never do that. What I do is, straight up, forward, I'm not subliminal. I'm very direct. I'm very straightforward with what it is I do. What I write or draw, I mean what I say and say what I mean. Rolinda says, wow, she was 29. Well, yeah, she had been some bit parts in movies and had been in modeling for a while by the point that then she blew up like she did from Charlie's Angels. Like the summer before Charlie's Angels premiered, she had her part in Logan's Run, which I think was her biggest movie role out there. And also at that time, she had married Lee Majors. Yes, well, youthful allure in that poster. No need to spell anything. Yes. I remember when when Fawcett appeared in the Comedy Central roast of William Shatner, multiple people that went up there to go and speak in a roast Shatner because Farrah was there. They then they addressed Fawcett and talked about how much, they loved her and how they masturbated to her poster all the time. I'm not joking. You can find the footage of the Comedy Central roast of William Shatner. I believe that's the one that had Farrah Fawcett as one of the other people there. And yeah, there was multiple guys talking about how, that poster made them men. Like how I mentioned, Nicole Kidman in Batman Forever, or also there was Halle Berry in The Flintstones, or Cameron Diaz in The Mask, or Vanity in The Last Dragon, or Christina Applegate, because Don't Tell Mom That Babysitter's Dead aired all the time on HBO, besides Married with Children, still being on. And another one I haven't brought up as much, but should, Elizabeth Hurley in Austin Powers. Yeah, there's also whoever Jason Moffat is. Does Farrah Fawcett's hair say sex? The Museum of Hoaxes. God, this looks like an old one, but yeah, this famous poster. If I can get these out of the way. Yeah. This legend arose to explain the incredible popularity of the poster that sold over 12 million copies by some accounts. It was always a bit of a mystery. The word sex is supposed to begin in the curls of her right shoulder, that form of an S. I can sort of see the S right there. But I know there was that thing like, I remember Ethan Van Sciver went and did that with that issue of New X-Men that he was an artist on, where he went and decided to go and hide the word in each page of that New X-Men issue he drew. And how he actually told his inker about this and told them, yeah, I'm doing this thing and here's what to do. And telling him to make sure that he inks the pages the proper way so that those would be spelled out and hidden. And then apparently what Van Sciver did, then as ever, staging opposition and staging shit to go and aggrandize himself and give himself a PR boost he wants. He then went and sent a letter to Wizard Magazine under a pseudonym complaining to the editor about how this Ethan Van Sciver drawn issue of New X-Men had the word sex hidden on every page. And then that led to Wizard actually going and doing an article about how this happened. Yes, and then in the early days of Van Sciver's YouTube channel, he went and did a stream going page by page showing how he hid how he hid it in each page, and then how it was inspired by this book he had read about subliminal messages in advertising. Yes, the S is on her right shoulder. I know exactly where it's at. Yes, we can all sort of see that. Yes, making own opposition. So EVS, PLC. Yes, for sure. Just like the Southern Poverty Law Center, which actually makes, the statements of original comic book cry bully the original comic book cry bully, Gail Simone, all the more plausible by comparison of talking about how, talking to Van Sciver on Twitter about how, you're acting like you're a big MAGA supporter, but then, weeks before we would be talking in private and I would hear you or see you mocking Trump and calling him a clown and belittling his supporters. But now all of a sudden you're all pro-Trump now and you're wearing a MAGA hat. So considering how EVS's history of, crowd psychology of sending in a fake letter to Wizard to complain about this hidden message, only for it then to turn out to be, it was all there deliberately, and the whole outrage about it was him just, trying to get people to notice. But Relentless, remember right here, her being the connoisseur of hedonism, the hedonism resort, she knows what I'm talking about, the woman who has sent me super chats in exchange for me being shirtless on streams and things like that. Of course, she would be able to, know about this rumor and see if we can. Yes, apparently it starts there, and it's spelled out somewhere out in here. Yeah, here it says, but I can't see the other two letters. I can see the S because there's sort of an S with the swirls in her hair right there. Yeah. Let's go what our friend David Moffat has to say. Oh, no, Jason Moffat, sorry. Okay, here at least he does like a graphic design is my passion kind of thing. Oh, wait, crap. Sort of a drawing on where we see the S right there and the apparently, now that he put in, it was intended to be put in that, that could just be a thing that people were going and doing as a thing that you sort of notice. If you stare at any kind of, lattice work or any kind of message or some kind of pattern long enough, you're going to start seeing like, oh, I can see a face in there, or I can see like this shape in there. Same thing with a cloud, Seeing something shaped in the clouds is something that is very common, but that doesn't mean that, those clouds are actually deliberately shaped to look like that. Same thing with, people seeing sex being, visible in the Farrah Fawcett poster. I mean, hey, John Travolta had the Farrah Fawcett poster in Saturday Night Fever, but then we all know what his, personal peccadillos are. So it wasn't like that, got him interested. Yes, but now let me go and now you see where it is. And yes, Relentless, help our friend Mark right here, who is now going through treatment for a form of leukemia. Yesterday, he just started his chemotherapy, and now there's going to be a platelet infusion happening. And issue 3 of Encrypted, which we are going to print on in this week, is going to be featuring an editorial on Mark right there with his own words, talking about the condition he's going through and how he's going to beat this thing. And also issue 3 is the issue where you are all going to get to see, you're going to get to see Fiona naked for the first time. Yeah, so pay attention. Fiona gets naked in issue 3. That is her equivalent to the Miramax film Sirens. That might as well have been called Elle Macpherson Gets Naked. It's the rare example of a 90s Miramax film that justifies its softcore marketing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will show you the poster for it along with the VHS box cover. There's a couple different posters for it. Here's one. Look at that right there. Show. Yeah, there. And then look at this other one. Yes, we got 2 topless Australian models framing this lady from Game of Thrones and Hugh Grant. A more recent Blu-ray release, which, fitting, but then I believe this was the VHS box cover. And then you've got this poster right here. Yes, like I said, it fits. Just trying to find. Oh, here's one.
Watch 2 Albert Pyun movies. I think it's how you say his name on here. I don't think you were here for Nemesis, but you were here for Cyborg with Van Damme. We have another movie of his, but this one has Dennis Hopper in it and Tom Sizemore.
Oh,
It's called Ticker. The only problem I'm seeing with it is that Steven Seagal's also in it. We have copies from Eddie Coulter, Quinn Kelly, and Greg Morgan. I know nothing about this except who's in it and Albert Pyun, so I don't even know what year this came out. I know you're very excited.
it had me until Seagal.
You can be all the things you've always wanted to be. Beautiful, sexy.
Actually, wait. With Relentless here, let's go and show her another a one that they reviewed. Yes, the Bo Derek classic Ghosts Can't Do It. This is one that I know Relentless would like to see.
So last night I was in the Discord voice chat with a couple of members, and they brought up a movie that they said is weirder than Tammy and the T-Rex, which was kind of hard to believe. But they said that this movie called Ghosts Can't Do It, starring Bo Derek and Anthony Quinn, is insane. This was sent to us by Nate, who goes by America's Ass. And I don't think we've done a Bo Derek movie on here. I did see it was directed by her husband, though.
And if I remember right, it was Relentless who sent me the Shout Factory 2-pack Blu-ray release of Ghosts Can't Do It with Bolero, if I remember right. I think it was Relentless who sent me that, yes. There we go. So we know for sure she's going to love seeing them go and bring up this movie.
So that'll be interesting. We're running out of time to get tickets to our first live event we're doing, where we are showing Lost Faith. We flew up Joel D. Wine Coop. We've been saying it wrong for like 2
We
years.
said this for years.
Just found out. He's coming up to
This says I can't recall, but I mean, all right, let's get to the heart of the matter, which is Bo Derek getting naked and trying to find a man that her elderly husband can possess.
One from Mason Ale Works, and I. It's about Native Americans.
So, I don't know. They started talking about the story, and I was just like, no.
Yeah,
I don't want to know anything.
Like a West.
By John Derek. Yeah, okay. Who I believe was like 30 years older than her.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he scored a body with a body.
I think he started banging her when she was like 16.
Oopsies.
Yeah.
Not in Hollywood.
Yeah, right. You're old by then.
Or I could be totally wrong, and I've just slandered the shit out of this.
Yeah.
You'll know if it's the case because it won't be in here.
That's right. That's right.
It'll just be us laughing, and you won't know why. Whoa! Jesus!
Oh my gosh!
Stroking out?
It's a ghost.
And yes, also later in the film, Bo Derek does business negotiations with the president. Yes.
Doing it?
Okay, so in the movie, she's married to an old man. And her husband, who is an old man, is directing this.
Purely fiction.
It's pretty potent stuff.
That's a little open mouth there, buddy boo.
Hers was not.
No.
Where do we know this guy from? Heart attack guy.
Heart attack guy? He's not
No.
Well, that's Anthony Quinn, whoever that is.
Last Action Hero.
Big rapey shots. Have you ever seen one of those?
Yeah.
This is lame so far.
I'm kind of interested.
And hello there to Forever Lost coming on in at this time, as we've got our little lady right here and the woman she just saved. Let's go and make this fun.
Oh, go.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was it. The way his arm dropped.
Well, you won't be playing King Kong anymore.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did he climb buildings and
What?
like swat airplanes out of the sky?
King Kong? Who's this guy?
This is Doctor.
In his Gold's Gym
I guess.
sweatpants?
He was the one telling him he couldn't play King Kong.
What?
No. Might be catching.
Will you shut up and listen to me?
This is a different scene again?
Why wouldn't he kiss her? What's wrong with his hair?
And hello to Nick right here. So everybody say hello in the middle of page 17. We got a lot to take care of with this, but we will be up and ready. And remember, we've got plenty of plans to take care of with figuring out for the next 4 months with the rest of Justice for One that we're going to be doing.
So he's already out of the hospital?
Yeah. This is good stuff.
Couldn't they have just like opened it up with him like coming home? Oh, he's a rancher who had a heart attack, and then we could have just ended this movie sooner.
I don't know, dude.
Heart's no good.
Is that you don't get a new one.
So he can't get a new heart.
Okay.
Okay.
His house is incredible.
It's like a castle. There's armor.
I was gonna say, how much money does he have to have that Bo Derek would marry him? The answer is a lot.
Plenty.
That's a nice fireplace. I'd cozy up to that. I'd marry an old man.
She's no dummy, Scott.
Why is she just standing outside
She's
in the snow?
she's fawning over her husband.
Go outside and look pretty.
What, did he think he was going to outlive her?
That's the idea right there. So I'm glad it worked out that way. About the resemblance to Nicole Kidman right here. I mean, considering how much she was she made me into a man at such a young age. I should be able to draw her from just sense memory. And also going, yes, Mark now is beginning his treatments to take care of this, his chemo treatments to go and fight off that leukemia he's been dealing with. So let's hope. Let's hope. The battle is one that he wins.
Thought he was going to get a heart transplant, and for some reason they just told him no.
When you're 75,
Oh, she's acting like a child.
She basically is compared to him.
How old is she here, though? 40-something?
This is 89, late 20s.
careful, Lassie. You're gonna give him another heart attack.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just straddle your sick husband or father or grandfather.
Don't give him. He's gonna die.
That's about it. All right, you make the changes.
He's following her around in a car because he can't ride the horse anymore, I guess.
What is on her head?
Her...
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm thinking Bo Derek knows how to ride a horse.
Or that's not Bo Derek.
I think that's Bo Derek.
That was. Wow.
I think it was.
That was a horse wheelie. Holy cow.
Horse wheelie, I love it. That has a face. Her hat has a face.
Mm-hmm. A cartoon face, no less.
What's that, a fox? A white
I don't
fox?
know.
Maybe an Arctic fox. Oh, dressage.
Dressage.
For Snoop when you need him.
That's her.
Yeah.
She might have done that.
And well, actually, that's another one I forgot about. Bo Derek in Tommy Boy, of course. If you remember seeing Tommy Boy on HBO in the late 90s, well, there's a reason that if you know, even though she was already 40, by that time, when you see the trailer for Tommy Boy, it began with her in slow motion stepping out of a pool in a swimsuit. Yes. Bo Derek's so damn hot, even as she got older. Yes. I mean, most of us here, if we were too young to know 10, we definitely then would remember her from Tommy Boy.
That's what they turned to.
Oh, her hat is that dog. Oh my god.
That dog's mom.
Where have you been?
You just saw him.
I think we time jumped again because she was driving and he was driving.
She has the same hat on.
Oh.
I just don't think it's a good movie. Besides, if you had that hat, you'd wear it all the time.
I would. That's a sweet hat.
You guys, is she delusional? Is he dead? Is this the Sixth Sense?
It does have a sheen.
Oh, wait. Wait. Did he die in the beginning of the movie?
I want to ask your forgiveness.
You're scaring me, Great One.
Gray one? Great one?
Great one? Gray one? What's she?
Aaron, do you call Jason Great One?
Yeah, that's correct there. And, well, trust me, there's going to be a lot more of Zoe to see as we get things better. But then, of course, also Our Lady right here and what's going to be happening with her. But since she's a character who talks, you know, there's a, it's going to be a lot easier putting her in situations.
I like that.
Not even once more.
Oh, is he pissed off he can't bang her?
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to help him feel better.
No. You might kill him.
You need to go put a lot of clothes on.
It's no big deal, Scott.
I mean, it is. He married you for one reason. An old rich man marries Bo Derek. It's so he can bang her. If he can't bang her, now he's like...
Exactly. And also her real life husband, John Derek, was this like dude that he had been married twice before, and both of them looked almost exactly like her. And he would do like nude photo spreads of them for Playboy and what have you, or he would put them in the same locations in the exact same poses. Yeah, John Derek really liked, you know, having the same type of blonde sex doll that he could then switch out when they got too old for him to find them attractive anymore. It reminded me of that episode of The Simpsons after Flanders' wife died, where an old high school girlfriend came over to visit or whatever, and he started having her dress like his dead wife, and then she wakes up in the middle of the night as he's cutting her hair to look more like his wife while looking at a picture of his dead wife for reference. Oh. Well, our girl right here, she did just witness a woman shoot and kill 7 potential rapists. So her eyes, yeah, definitely would be, you know, looking like something like that or scarier. Yeah, that was a great episode, forever. Yeah, those kind of men in Hollywood, like, you know, John Derek or like Hugh Hefner, where they just have they treat women like it's the ex machina factory, where they can just replace them with with just a younger model, and in their cases, pretty much literally. But it's okay because they vote Democrat. They donate to the SPLC, so it's all right.
What do I have you here for?
What's life worth living?
Well, I don't think he's living. I think he's dead. He killed himself.
Oh.
I shortchanged you the other day when I said you put the cherry on my cake.
Oh.
Wow.
You're my cherry pie.
This is so bad. It's like, asshole.
That took care of it.
What a shot. Did he kill himself because he couldn't bang Bo Derek anymore?
That was the last straw.
What it looked like.
Yep.
And then in real life, John Derek died in like 1996 or so. So John Derek died right before Viagra reached the market. So I can imagine John Derek, you know, in hell for being a statutory rapist, because he really did start dating a Bo Derek when she was only 16. So I can imagine him in hell looking at, you know, Viagra reaching the market after his death and just thinking, fuck! And forever, he knows what I'm talking about. Funny enough, I have met people that seem to date the same person over and over and over again. Yes. Yes. Even naked Bo Derek will not save this train wreck of a movie. But maybe, considering that the president has saved us from new wars, has saved us from more federal spending on control of the opposition, and also is saving the people of Iran from the planted tyrannical Islamic government right there in Iran that they've had since the 70s, well, maybe the president will also save us in this movie when he appears later.
I think that's why he killed himself.
Oh my gosh. What have I done?
God never comes for suicides.
Wait, who's that?
No.
His ex-wife? Or his dead wife?
I think
No, it's Julie Newmar at TV's Catwoman as an angel. Yes, TV's Catwoman as an angel.
It's just a guardian angel or something.
I don't like rooms.
You must be the very first person who ever felt that way.
Tell it to him straight, Angel.
What a dickwad. He's in heaven. He's like, rules.
You're an angel.
What, you mean? You're an entitled old rich prick who thought that you can just, fucking do whatever you want, fuck wherever you want, and look down your nose at Jesus, but turns out, oh no, wait. Jesus loves you whether you like it or not.
I'm starting to think John Derek might not have been a good filmmaker. This is bad.
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
And you are my first case.
I was Katie's first case.
Excuse me, please.
And that other bizarre, terrible film that Bo Derek starred in that her husband directed, Bolero, has a scene where the man she married is a bullfighter who gets gored in the crotch that makes him impotent. And the third act of the film is all about Bo Derek trying to inspire him to get aroused to go and fuck her again. And there's even a bit where she talks to him and points to his crotch and saying, that thing is going to work. I guarantee you this. And raises a thumbs up.
What? You just say he took...
And she does it by becoming a bullfighter herself, including horseback riding naked. And then when she successfully becomes a professional bullfighter, then they go and they fuck.
Her virginity?
Yep.
Oh, you're a new angel and I'm your first case. I'm the first guy with my wife.
She's 40 years my junior.
I'm back. Please look at me.
She's seeing his ghost. It is she? Ghost can't do it or don't do it or whatever it's called. It looks like he's in hell, not heaven.
Yeah, it's black.
He's supposed to be up in the sky?
Yeah.
But she said, Angel Lady said she's a...
Or as RJ brings up, imagine being a hate group and finding out the only people bankrolling you are the first that use you as the villains so they can pretend to be the heroes. That in effect is the Washington Generals of extremist political groups. Exactly. Like I said, it's a federally funded equivalent to the Jussie Smollett fake attack.
Fledgling. Satan was a fallen angel, which makes me wonder, is it actually a demon and we're making a deal with the devil? I could be putting a deeper story in where there is none.
I think John Derek wrote a movie about how he's an old man and he's going to die and not be able to bang Bo Derek. That's what I think.
Confessions from his diary.
He's such a dickhead. He couldn't come back to her when she's alone.
In case you want to know why the rest of Hollywood laid into Bo Derek being such a terrible actress and all of that stuff, after her big break with 10, and she wound up going and being faithful to her husband instead of fucking every other director in town. The Scarlett Johansson approach, where Scarlett Johansson even though she has the acting range of a paper football, but for decades, we were all made to pretend that she actually was a star based off her acting talent. It of course, didn't have anything to do with her willingness to fuck Woody Allen and Harvey Weinstein now, didn't it? But she gets Oscar nominations, and they were pretending she's a great talent, but Bo Derek is, faithful to her husband, and suddenly they're not willing to make that kind of exception. Maybe also the fact that Bo Derek was an outspoken Republican in the 1980s might have something to do with it. When you don't fuck, when your husband will not share you with, all of the leering pervert powermonger men in Hollywood, and then you vote Republican, that's definitely going to be a cocktail to the same people that pretended shit like The Other Boleyn Girl was some great film, but then when it didn't catch on, they wound up, not giving it the Oscar nominations they already were pre-buying. Yeah, just remember shit like that. Yes. They pretend to be friends so they can pretend to be enemies. The Southern Poverty Law Center and the Ku Klux Klan. Talk about kayfabe. Talk about why is it that the SPLC is able to go and manufacture heels and baby faces for long-term storylines better than modern WWE?
To do it at his own funeral.
Yeah, look at me. Look at me.
They say it's mandatory. There are all kinds of rules and laws up here.
He's just up there.
No. Everyone in Hollywood pretending that Jennifer Lawrence was some great, relatable, down-to-earth girl that was such a great big star and such a talented beyond her years actress, that it turns out was flashing her butthole via social media covertly to Harvey Weinstein and David O. Russell whenever they wanted her to go and give them what they wanted to make her a star, while they couldn't do it in person. Yeah, if you don't think all those leaked nudes of hers were not the product of giving Harvey what he wanted when he couldn't get what he wanted in person, then you probably are also the kind of person that will believe whatever lie Colbert or Stewart are going to say to try to defend the SPLC getting caught bankrolling the KKK.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Dude, shut the f up. I got people around me.
Do you still love me?
Oh, yes, I love you.
It's been 3 days, homie.
Yeah.
Hey, you should go back home. Get my gun. Shoot yourself in the head, and we'll hang out.
Is that where this is going? Ghost can't do it. He still won't be able to bang her.
Wouldn't that be? It's a comedy.
He wants her to kill herself so he can keep bagging her.
Yeah. We have a movie, Ghost.
You messed up my house.
Which is way better than this.
Remember where you are.
But
We're not trying to find Ghost. We're trying to find the stupid ass version of Ghost where Patrick Swayze never gets to bang Demi Moore again.
But I'm just saying because we have this concept in a really good story. But then we have this.
Stand tall. Out.
Excuse me, please?
And when it comes to hoaxes and all that, that gave people like John Oliver what they wanted to say. Yeah, Mark brings up, the Antifa riot in Charlottesville that inspired the Very Fine People hoax was a complete work of fiction. Yes, the Jews will not replace us, Tiki Torch bullshit. Well, it was a staged right-wing operation, considering your boy Zach was involved. And yes, and Nick says that, yes, I will I will finish Justice for One this weekend. And yes, finishing Justice for One, the first issue, while having 7 issues done of Encrypted and also doing Slick. Yes, I'm certainly a lot faster than a former DC artist making a book about a frog. And Nick is not referring to Slick. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And Marjay brings up, it's not that ScarJo isn't talented, it's that she's not that talented and knows she's past the point where looks get the parts, and that based on her talent, the ride will be over. So activism, yes. And well, considering, there is nothing that Freud couldn't have looked into with an actress that got her stardom on the back of her body, constantly over the years getting large, ugly tattoos all over herself to disfigure the thing that gave her the ticket to the big time. The countless upon countless photos of her at award shows or at premieres for movies, smirking over her shoulder while shaking her ass for the photogs, recreating the Betty Grable smirking over your shoulder while shaking your ass picture. And then she goes and gets giant fucking leaves tattooed across her back. Nick, I did not hear that A24 is making a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. But if you, just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it always can, since A24 is a production company that exclusively makes horror movies to give all the Tumblr freaks of the week that think that look at you weird if you find it creepy, that they want to go and make gay icons out of child predators like the Babadook and Freddy Krueger. Yeah, those type of people, A24 making a Texas Chainsaw movie. If you thought the last one was pandering to current year California shit with social media influencers as characters and gun violence, ranting and raving and all that, yeah, A24, the same assholes that are the people that greenlight shit like Midsummer, and who are hypocritically owe their mainstream exposure to being the company behind Spring Breakers getting made. Yeah. If you want a horror film specializing studio or production company that is the equivalent to Scarlett Johansson owing her career to gladly waving her tits at the camera and then bitching about being so sexualized, well, there you go with A24, that got its biggest commercial success off of Spring Breakers and now is exclusively doing DEI dog shit horror films, with the exception of occasionally doing something that is Oscar bait misery porn. Yeah, they pepper in their woke horror film bullshit with failed Oscar bait misery porn about wrestling or about MMA between the Smashing Machine and the Iron Claw. And yes, Forever has seen the new trailer for that crap. Nick says, I gotta go. My lunch break's about to end. All right, everyone wish Nick a good night right there and hope the rest of the night goes well. And well, Nick also, we really disliked Midsummer. Good. That means that you are not a terminally online film school virgin that pretended the film was great because it agreed with Stephen Colbert's politics. And yes, of course, I didn't miss that. But yes, I'm going to be done with Justice for One during the weekend, so I'm much faster than a certain former DC artist making a book about a frog. That isn't slick. And RJ says A24's best film is The Iron Claw, and even that was fault with omitting an entire brother and downplaying the drugs that Von Erich was using. Well, like I said, the way that the idea of diversifying and expanding their production output at A24 is to go and do failed Oscar bait misery porn like The Smashing Machine or The Iron Claw. And then after that is exclusively A24 producing horror films that are exclusively made to tell journalist majors in Portland what they want to hear. And so keep it under 100 for sure. And yeah, I know. Sometimes that looking at the chat and looking at what I'm doing can lead to whether or not I see the chat as it's happening or not can be a mess up, can be a screw up. It's a screw up that I have no one to blame but myself for.
What? Are we supposed to like this guy?
I kind of like him. He's the great one.
He's like, oh, go to the Caribbean, go on vacation.
Oh my God, is this like a tax write-off for the couple?
Is this showing that Bo Derek can do like all these things for real? This is just a show-off reel.
I was nothing but a goddamn piece of meat.
He's changing clothes in heaven?
Yeah. He has a wardrobe. It's nice.
I don't think they could have shot this any worse. Him in the black.
It's cheaper than matching the set.
Oh, yeah. The effort? You want us to fly him down there? Yeah.
Come on, love. What'd he say? Out.
Actually, yeah. You haven't even followed his directions.
Wait.
Oh.
Titties out as promised. Not just titties out, but entirely. She is, my God. If it turns out that Bo Derek was some kind of nudist at home, it would not surprise me. Then again, with a body like hers in her prime in the 70s and 80s, and then into the 90s, why would she want to wear clothes? Look up a straight-to-video erotic thriller she did that co-stars Lapidus from Lost and Robert Mitchum called Woman of Desire, where she has sex scenes with Lapidus from Lost where she's riding him on top of a motorcycle, and also has sex scenes with Al Pacino's best friend in Scarface. That's that guy. The only Cuban actor playing a Cuban in Scarface.
Oh,
what?
Wait. What is going on?
She's finally following directions.
What else could you be? I mean,
is this necessary?
Of course it is.
This is the most essential part of the plot.
We're finally getting to the story.
Does she always get naked in her movies?
Like I said, I haven't seen her in much, but I think
we're seeing all of her in
I
this
think
one.
that's what she's known for.
Getting naked? Jeez.
I mean, you
Well, between how she almost had a nude scene in every film she was in, and how she appeared in Playboy 5 times. And yes, I do have all of her Playboy appearances. There you go. The only way I could, mix it up is if I wound up, tracking down foreign language editions of Playboy, foreign language versions of the issues she appeared in. Like, the one that Elle Macpherson appeared in. If I could get, tracking down like a Japanese or a German or a Polish versions of that issue to see if there's any different photos. RJ will always love seeing that Aaron face shaming you for seeing, the sexiest nudist on screen of the 80s.
Take another body, and with this body, you'd make love to me?
Oh, he's gonna possess another dude.
He's going to possess someone?
Jason, you are on the edge of your seat.
This is Bo Derek's Vaheen.
Yeah.
Would you be young?
Would you be young?
She's tired of an old man. She's to do it in real life and in this movie. She's over it.
If we're going to have a do-over.
She's going around trying to find a giant dick.
Another example of how she should have had a bigger career. I mean, Bo Derek could have gone and swapped stories with the likes of Scarlett Johansson and Natalie Portman on the set of The Other Boleyn Girl, when they were probably talking to each other about how, Portman had to blow Mike Nichols to get a Golden Globe nominated roles that she was miscast in, and Scarlett Johansson about having to blow Woody Allen to get into a succession of Weinstein-produced Woody Allen movies, where she was there to act out Allen's, behind-the-camera fantasies. That's why you can practically hear Woody Allen masturbating from behind the camera whenever she's on screen in one of those films.
But a guy, they're gonna go shopping for a body.
Whoa! Lawler!
Guessing we've had him already.
Yeah, that
first guy.
You need any help?
No, thank you.
Looks like a very beautiful person. For sure was something I could do.
You were ugly.
Although she must be bad in bed, because remember, Scarlett Johansson did co-star with Penelope Cruz in a Woody Allen film produced by Weinstein, and the fact that you have a Woody Allen-directed Harvey Weinstein production where Penelope Cruz won every Best Supporting Actress award under the sun, and Scarlett Johansson had to keep showing up to those awards empty-handed with no nominations, it must show that Scarlett must have been bad in bed for Harvey.
That wouldn't help. Okay, I'm starting to see why they were saying this is crazier than Tammy and the T-Rex. I don't think we're there yet, but this is insane.
Oh, we are well on our way.
Well on the way here.
You're right. She's doing the Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, walking around talking to somebody.
When did Ghost come out?
88? 80? No, 90. The Ghost ripoff.
Oh my gosh.
Can't do it.
Would you introduce us, or could I introduce myself?
Look at this kid.
What? I could bang you with this body. This is perverted as hell.
This is Tammy and the T-Rex.
Is this some arrangement that she and her husband made? And he's like, let's pick one together.
Maybe. This is weird.
Signora.
Parabonde.
Oh,
why?
She gave him the two-piece.
Why?
What? Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, this is some kind of fictionalized version of the arrangements that Bo and John Derek would make when he was too old to have sex with her. And remember, he died before Viagra reached the market. So it was a matter of, okay, well, let's go and you get a younger man that can give you what you want.
This is the wish fulfillment or whatever.
Yeah.
Working out something instead of going to therapy that the director was doing.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to be banging my wife.
I mean, at least with this idea, with this version of a filmmaker, you mistaking filmmaking and a movie-going audience with his psychiatrist, at least you've got Bo Derek naked. But yes, it is another example of those movies like, what Razorfist rightfully pointed out with the narcissistic wait trip to nowhere that was Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein movie, and about all of the obvious insecurities and neuroses shoehorned into the story, where entirely Dr. Frankenstein is a Del Toro self-insert, and Mia Goth is, spouting out almost entirely current year California feminist platitudes for his little, for Del Toro's little SJW waifu wish fulfillment. Yes, we get it, Del Toro. You're mad at your father for not hugging you enough because you weren't good at sports, and you've got also mommy issues too. But this is a Frankenstein movie, not your, not your journal. This is not your fucking the movie-going audience is not your psychiatrist. Hence why there was a far superior, recent adaptation or remake of another classic monster film with the Robert Eggers Nosferatu movie, which actually was a Nosferatu movie, not Robert Eggers' personal little, narcissistic screed. Maybe now you know why that that Nosferatu movie was not made by A24, and why it actually made money, unlike those A24 SJW horror films.
Life suit.
Oh, that's
Those
strange.
seashells?
Pearls, I'm guessing.
And I don't think that's very good for a person. Put everything in here.
Oh, this guy's a perv.
Creeper.
Dude, she slapped you twice.
You're now the chairman of the board. My entire empire. God, you'll have to work.
You'll have to work.
Why would she do that?
It's like, nah.
No, I'm selling it all. I don't give a shit.
She's naked a lot because there's not a single tan line on her.
Oh, I didn't even notice. You're right.
Oh, really?
Why don't you go get a body and ravish me?
Yes. And there she is in the jacuzzi in the rain. She doesn't care. And yeah, when then it's brought up that, yeah, you can tell she has no tan lines, so she does spend a lot of time naked in the sun. So yeah, definitely a nudist. Before I ever brings up, this is one hell of a cuck fanfic. Help forget that dudes become cucks because they can't get it up anymore, and a power play more than anything else. I don't know about that, but RJ, actor Anthony Quinn moved to and lived in his home state, and he was laid to rest there. Oh, that's nice. And yes, you also got to think about the actor, an actor being there just to live out some type of self-insert, fan fiction like that. Like, another example of Oscar Isaacs being wasted as an actor with him acting out the idealized Del Toro self-insert Dr. Frankenstein in that shitty, overrated movie. And now with Anthony Quinn being, this Academy Award-winning actor, here he is doing this. But then again, he also wound up having a role in Last Action Hero. So him being in disasters was just a thing for that time.
Oh.
Watch your mouth.
She took her pearls off, Aaron.
She did. True. She did.
True.
And the question is, how do I kick him out?
How do
I thought he already knew. But
how do I press his soul?
He started with the end. I'm hammering you again. But he had no plan to get there.
What happened to his angel friend?
Yeah, where'd she go?
I think she left when he started talking about possessing somebody so he could keep banging.
She's like, oh, this is above me.
Like, heaven's going to have no part of this.
I think I'm going to go.
You would like him, Kate. I saw him go skinny dip the other night.
Jesus Christ.
Mercy.
Oh.
Mercy. You'll like him.
He's got a big old hog on him.
You must.
You're too old to have sex with your wife, so now you're checking out another man skinny dipping so you can see whether or not he's got the right kind of dick size. That's especially fucked up psychosexual shit that only Hugh Hefner, Bill Clinton, and my father could relate to. Especially now that I'm starting to suspect more, think about it, that my father may or may not have been molesting me in my sleep. Because what I've said about, confession through projection and the weird pattern he would repeatedly have of talking about, I bet, your mom was a sick whore. I bet she probably, did things to you in your sleep. Because, you sleep like a log. You go and sleep for 12 hours and a nuclear bomb could go off and wake you up. I bet you she probably did things. Really, Dad? Well, thanks for something that now the implications of are very much showing how, well, I cannot relate to Mr. Garrison on South Park. You know, Mr. Garrison, when he visited his family home in Kentucky, and the joke was dealing with the trauma of how his father didn't molest him. Oh, dear God, no, indeed. Well, he also was the type of sick pervert that would say things about how, well, if you ain't making money, if you don't pay the rent, you pay these bills, then I'm going to say, you can't do it and you pay these bills with what you're doing. I'll put you on the street in hot pants and a tube top. That was his go-to threat of yeah, if this doesn't work, then it's hot pants and a tube top for you. I know I could probably get a lot of money for you. Yes, that's what happens when you goon too much and you can't get it up. You become a cuck, or you become a possibly molesting your own son freak of the week like my father may or may not have been.
I think I'm crazy talking to myself.
Yes.
He doesn't care. Have you seen you?
He's still there. This dude's willing to tolerate a lot.
But I'm just anxious. My angel says I only have a couple of days.
Nope, she's on board with us.
Oh, the angel gave permission to possess a body.
To murder a man, yeah.
Wonderful.
What else would the Great Scott do?
The Great Scott.
Great Scott.
No, I came to see you.
You've come halfway around the world just to see me.
4 reasons to see her. 2 billion.
Yeah.
2 other reasons.
2 other big reasons.
Yeah.
And she likes old men. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The odds are good.
Yeah.
The odds are good.
That flew his private jet as fast as it can get here.
When that guy killed himself, he was like, ka-ching!
The boring empire.
Well, I'm afraid now you're going to have to give it your complete attention.
You're going to have to work. And then everyone's telling her she has to actually work. And she's like, no.
Look at me. I've never worked a day in my life.
And nor will she.
I ride horses and old men. That's my job.
Not in that order.
Dressage.
Dressage, both of them.
Yeah.
Katie, you have to go to Hong Kong right away.
I think I should go to Hong Kong.
We're going to Hong Kong now?
No.
To work on the company.
That's on location.
That didn't go well.
Jesus, how windy is
that
it?
Noodle.
That noodle.
She's trying not to laugh.
They kept it in the movie.
They literally are using this to pay for their vacations.
Yeah.
This is insane. Are they in Hong Kong? For real?
I'm guessing. Is that?
Oh my God.
Is that?
Yes. I was waiting for this moment. Here we are. Give or take a few socialists, career criminals, and morphine addicted men who murder their mistresses before Trump, yes. Like I said, credit where it's due. The Colbert produced Our Cartoon President made fun of Democrats and left-wing media figures more in 3 years on the air than the entirety of South Park in almost 30 years on the air, including even taking a swipe at John F. Kennedy, where Kennedy's ghost comes to talk to Trump and refers to himself as the privileged son of a Nazi sympathizer. Hail to the serial raping pedo. But don't worry, there's a big finish. Let's wait. Yeah, that'll be worth it for the big finish. Okay, now you see why it was worth seeing the montage that included Roosevelt and Clinton and Kennedy. And we get another one of those thrift books ads. This one is it's the little, Kodak moment kind of commercial right here. Just wait.
So bright, King Bear soaked in his kingdom and wished it all good night.
Find the stories that make you feel like a kid again.
This is sort of like, one of those Kodak moment commercials or those sad Pacific Bell ads that Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels were crying over in Dumb and Dumber.
No.
Was that stock footage?
It isn't woman's work we're doing here today.
That's him.
Strange thing is, if you notice it, considering this is the same channel that reviews all those Steven Seagal straight-to-video films, the way they're lighting Trump, it sort of looks like later-day Steven Seagal, where they're putting him in like the little, edge lighting on his eyes or something that try to hide his fatness. And he's practically sitting in the dark.
Same here. It's excellent.
Well, she's wearing her smart glasses.
She's smart now, yeah.
Is he there with her? I can't tell.
I don't know.
Doesn't feel like it.
In this room, there are knives sharp enough to cut you to the bone, cold enough to eat yours as hors d'oeuvres.
Also a great actor.
He's better than her.
That's not.
I don't think he's there.
But he is in the movie. Like,
He's less monotone than Natalie Portman or Emma Stone.
He's in the
He's delivering dialogue.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, lines from this movie.
Yes. Wait, is he gonna try and plow Bo Derek? Oh no.
Oh.
Oh my God. Why the f is Trump in this?
I don't know. He's wealthy and she's supposed to be.
But this is a piece of shit. Why would he say yes to this? Why the f was he in this? That was so weird.
I think Bo Derek.
He hates China.
That came full circle.
This is why he had to go there for the movie.
You won't hear bells ring.
They haven't stopped ringing since the first time you kissed me.
Broads of fruitcake.
We can count on you then?
Put the phone down.
What? What?
It's either the Asian guy or Trump.
Oh, we're naked again.
I don't know who. Oh.
I see her vagina again.
Oh.
She was not shy.
Nope.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
She was like,
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry for showering.
Did you see that?
That actor, the smile on that actor's face was not staged. That actor was like, I will pay you to be in this movie for getting to do that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't scream again. Exactly as I tell you, you might come out okay.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Is he?
She drops her towel and jumps in the pool.
And hides.
He didn't hear that at all.
The water's rippling.
Yeah.
Her flotation devices are sticking out.
You came here to rape me.
You want to get raped?
Yes, every day of my other choice is kill.
What?
You'd rather be raped every day?
If it was that or be killed, is what you said.
I mean,
Aaron, the writing is airtight.
Well, he wants to rape or kill. I don't really know what he wants to.
You're the only one who said raped.
Yeah.
He never said raped.
No.
All I want you to
I think that's one of Bo Derek's weird fantasies coming forward. Maybe it's like because she wasn't taken seriously as an actress or whatever, and her husband wasn't gonna, pimp her out to producers and big directors and all that. It's like she knew Hollywood success is built on casting couch rape. So it was a matter of, it became a thing if she wanted to be a bigger star, so she wanted to get raped. Yes, the writing is wild as hell, yet so funny.
take 2 little pills.
Swallow it.
pills. I'm gonna give it to you like a suppository.
Oh my God.
Here they go.
Oh my God.
Crazy, don't.
Or I'll give it to you like a suppository.
Did he put the pills up her butt?
Yes. Will you help me?
And apparently she liked it. Hey, a California beach girl that likes anal. That's as rare as a Jewish girl who gives head. We don't know why, it's just a thing, you know. A penny saved is a penny earned, you know. You wait for sex for the third date, and Jewish girls don't give head.
He did. I think he did. I think the trick didn't work, and off camera,
he stuffed pills up her ass. Yeah. This is her husband directing this.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
Can she call the cops?
Yeah. She's going to miss her meeting, but yeah, like call the other guy, like, hey, some goon drugged me.
She's going to call Trump.
Hey, Donnie.
Goddamn China.
We busted their balls.
Did I win? I did.
Oh my God, he's back.
Oh, and she's fine.
She had pills shoved up her ass.
I think you like to make mischief.
You noticed that too?
That's actually pretty good. I thought somebody with the silencer like went into his room though.
They did.
Like he was kidnapped too.
Did they shove pills up his ass too?
They're all pilled up.
You could sit out on the wing for a minute and then you wouldn't hear.
Well, I'll go out and try to behave.
This guy's like, man, I don't get paid enough for these rich assholes. All coked out of their minds. Let me sit in the pilot seat and talk to myself. And then he was like, no, I can't do that. And she was like, let me sit in the...
Yeah.
He's like, fine. That's literally what she did.
There was a joke about Jewish aversion to oral, but the punchline is a Holocaust-related one. What is that? About why Jewish girls don't give head. Maybe that's why it took Jennifer Connelly so long to be taken seriously as an actress, was because even though she had starred in a Weinstein production in the mid-90s, she still wouldn't give Harvey the head he wanted. But then, you know, after willing to suck black dick and go ass to ass for Darren Aronofsky, then she went and blew Harvey. And finally went and won Best Supporting Actress. The same year, Hollywood congratulated itself for Halle Berry being the first Black Best Actress winner. You had Jennifer Connelly winning an Oscar for playing an El Salvadorian woman. And the award to her was presented to her by Benicio del Toro.
In the shower. She's like, no. Oh, no, you saw me. Why are we on a train?
I thought they were on an airplane.
Going to the island. Jesus.
A steam engine.
It's a
He's shoveling coal?
He's shoveling the coal? Why is he shoveling coal?
This movie's a scam. This is a fetish scam where they could just go on vacation to all these places and he could figure out who's going to plow his wife when he's dead.
We're watching Existential Truck Crisis, the movie.
He's back.
Wait.
He's back.
So they did go back to the islands? By steam engine?
Better put those feet away, sister.
Do I... You think she'd have some security around her after since the, murder attack?
Yeah.
Well, she talked to the Donald and he took care of China. So I think that storyline's done.
That's done. Okay.
It's done. Then she took a steam engine.
Goodness.
To do a strip show. Oh my God. It's like a
Flashdance.
She's like, golly.
Except she kind of fell over.
Golly, some of the other guys in this island like me. I don't know why.
Oh, thank you, Reverend.
This is a movie made by and possibly made for dirty old men.
I'm really judging him so hard. Her husband.
This is strange.
This is exploitative of his wife.
Extreme.
Yes.
This is the first romance we've watched.
I mean, you could also say that these movies were like John Derek's perverted Hollywood rich prick way of like showing off his wife and no, look how hot my wife is. Yeah, I married her. I think I remember seeing somebody make fun of there was a Tarzan movie that John Derek directed that Bo starred in that actually did make money and did get good reviews when it first came out, Tarzan the Ape Man. And I remember seeing somebody do a review of it where there was a comment left saying, John Derek just made movies to show the world how he was the only guy that could have sex with Bo Derek.
No. Well, that was a drama. Yeah.
We watched Ben and Arthur.
I didn't. You did.
You know, after all the research, I found rat poison is the simplest.
Rat poison is horrible.
No,
that's not good.
That's a horrible death. That's not simple.
Not good.
Would you dehydrate?
But you're gonna take over a body that's f***ed up.
That's a good point.
I don't think your dick's gonna work if you died from rat poison. And this guy is still there.
Which guy? The rich guy?
The guy's been trying to bang her the whole movie. Yeah,
Banana Hammock guy.
She hates him and is playing baseball with him.
This movie's so wild. It seems like forever when we were in the snow-covered mountains of Montana.
This is an epic.
Yeah. We've gone on a long journey with these
Wow.
But Donald Trump.
This is like the Lord of the Rings. Yes. It's going to be a long time before we get back to the Shire. But don't show the sacking of the Shire.
Has anyone ever asked him about this? Like, what?
We should.
Next time I bump into him.
Okay.
Next presidential invitation.
You need to get into the press corps.
Right. Next time I'm invited to the White House.
You need to spend like a year getting it.
Brian, so bad's good. Can you tell me about ghosts can't do it or whatever?
Fausto.
Woo!
Fausto, Mrs. Scott.
Woo!
Woo!
Like, what the are you doing in my room?
All right, get out.
No, like you said, I'm a selfish, rotten bastard.
Is he gonna kill her? He seems insane.
Yeah.
Hold on tight now.
What is that?
Why?
That's the Stormtrooper gun. It's based on an old World War II.
With the mag on the side?
Yeah.
Shut up and let me fight.
All right, get him.
Okay.
She actually.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, a lot of dudes would do that. Forever says, I had a friend who would not stop showing off his girl to dudes by buying her tight jeans around his friends and say shit like, yeah, she's with me. Isn't that what they call a hot wife?
He did that.
Okay.
Are you going to use that club like you used the gun?
She's trying to kill him, or you know?
I don't know.
I don't know.
This is perfect. Now get the poison.
So she.
What? What?
I am history.
Oh, he's going.
Girl, I think that's your best option here.
You're crazy rich.
I think
super
this
hot.
is, yeah.
But she's also got no life skills.
Dude,
Well,
look at her. What
now
life skills does she need?
she has her life skills. They're on her chest.
Just like Scarlett Johansson. Do you think either one of them would know anything about, how to, fix a toilet or how to, do anything?
Hey, this guy.
Yeah, he wants to take care of you.
Yeah. You like the olds?
You can just pick up the same routine.
Seems like he could run the
with
business.
This guy, and then you can inherit his money too.
Are you all right?
I'm trying to be Winston.
Whatever happened here?
He's got a gun.
Uh-oh.
The big gun laying there isn't including anyone.
No.
I hit him with the work club, but my eyes were closed or I would have done it much better.
Bet that would have killed him.
Oh, yes, I'm sure it would have.
What? The dialogue is insane. What?
If I were crazy, I would have been talking to myself and I wasn't. So I'm not.
Oh my God.
That tracks.
Jason.
This is the epitome of dumb blonde.
You just may end up in that big bad red pit.
Yeah.
Shut up. The angel just told him, it's impossible. You're going to go to hell. And he's like,
well, have you seen her?
And yes, there's that, Yeah, when guys do this, it can backfire and she will cheat on you. She finds, one of your friends more attractive than you.
I could be banging Bo Derek.
Have you seen her?
That's really the logic of his whole movie.
Yeah. Every male character in this is like,
But
Where's Garibaldi?
He and the mayor took a boat last night and went somewhere, I guess.
banana hammock.
Are there no other men than the guy?
She's that hard up for a man. She's going all the way to Babylon 5 to try to get Garibaldi. Babylon 5 reference right there.
She physically despises?
Well, he said you'd like him.
He's got a big dick.
That's right. He said that.
Right. Lest we not forget.
I've forgotten like most of the insanity of this movie, and there's still a lot of insanity left.
You left the jail with Garibaldi and took a boat.
I need to get laid.
I need to get laid. I don't care about diplomatic relations with the Vorlons. I need some dick. I'm so desperate I'll even go and to the Psychops and get Bester to take my ass.
That's what this is about.
Oh,
They took him out and drowned him.
okay.
So why can't he go in
We're
to
good to
his
go.
body right now?
Yeah, ghosts can't go underwater.
Kate!
Cue the quantum leap sound.
God, are you
I
Wait, did they dub his voice as Old Man Scott?
Gosh. Oh, you guys.
You're even more beautiful than the first time.
Oh, so are you.
Damn.
Well, that might be true.
This is his fetish movie. This is his fantasy.
They get to come back
In the
as a
barn?
younger man
He keeps to continue banging Bo Derek.
In the barn.
for 2 lives.
No, I can't.
I'm too sore from a giant hog.
Literally what that was. You've banged me so much, I can't. She's trying to escape. Oh.
Okay.
That doesn't feel good.
Did I lie to you?
His dick is so big she can't walk.
Let's make all the bells on earth.
I can't anymore.
Ow. Oh.
He's got some abrasions.
Oh. Okay.
Well, she has to ride a horse everywhere now because she can't walk.
Because that'll help.
I feel like the movie should end now, right?
With Bo Derek getting hammered so much she can't walk.
And yes, if you sleep with a friend's boyfriend or girlfriend, you probably won't be trusted by any friends after that. As well, you shouldn't.
Yeah, it's a solid ending for this movie.
Pleading for him to
Tell me I'm
stop.
wrong. For this movie.
It's a perfect ending. Yeah, begging him to not bang her again.
Sure are a good-looking son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
What?
And yes, that really was Donald Trump.
Oh, that's how it's listed.
That's literally how he's in the credits.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Holy
God.
shit. Aaron, was the aptly titled Ghosts Can't Do It so bad it's good?
You know, when you said about talking about this in the Discord and they said it beats Tammy and the T-Rex, I thought it's Bo Derek. They're blowing it up. They just want to watch a movie with Bo Derek. This whole movie is about her getting laid. Like, that's the whole movie.
Her husband
His
trying to bang her.
goal is finding a body post-mortem to bang her with.
Yep, that sums it up.
This is one I feel like people need to watch, not just our episode. I think you need to watch the movie
Yes.
completely.
Everyone should own a copy of this.
It will stun you. Yes.
Okay. Brian?
Did you leave your body?
Dude, I
don't. All right. What amazes me the most is that, and with a lot of these movies, and this one obviously had some celebrity cameos, like biggish stars, exotic locations, a lot of money behind it. Someone looked at that script and said, "Yeah, let's do this." It was written from the perspective of a total psychopath.
Yeah.
And we're along for the ride, and the director's trying to convince us that this deranged thought process is what the heroes of our movies should be like fighting for.
Yes.
Yes. That at the end, the audience would be like, yes.
Yeah.
They're together again.
He did it.
But that's the one thing. That's like there's nothing like the acting, not great. There's no over the top action. There's no weird, like it's just weird perspective on like
story.
Yes, gets the stamp, but god damn.
Leaves you uncomfortable.
Not only is this so bad it's good, this is top tier. Upper echelon.
I agree.
So bad it's good. I cannot believe I was not even aware of this movie until, well, we got an unboxing like 2 months ago, but I don't remember opening it. But when they mentioned it last night, I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Dear God, I cannot believe this. The guy killed himself because he couldn't keep banging Bo Derek.
Yeah.
And then he's in heaven and he's like, Evan, I had to keep banging Bo Derek. That is the plot of the movie.
That is the movie.
Oh my God. Oh.
And well, that movie will never stop being horrifically fucking bizarre and amazing, and a film that I will watch and watch and watch over and over and over again. And it is one of those movies that, yes, deserves to be collected and kept in physical media. Absolutely, positively. It is the best and the brightest. It is the most bold and the beautiful. I recommend it to everyone. As you see here, we've got page 17 completed right here. Yes, I have to go back on the previous page when it comes to adding all the blood spatter on Our Lady right here. All those bullets. Yes, definitely should have. Definitely drenched her. And now, yes, page 16, another ones we see her, I got to add in the blood spatter across her. But we'll do that. And like I said, when this is all finally done, I was going to go and rescan everything at all the pages to try and go and see what type of filter, what type of brightness and all that would work better for these pages. But this is the last call, ladies and gentlemen. The last call for super chats, the last call for channel memberships, and the last call for donations into the store. Loving the 100-yard look on her. Oh, yes, the 100-yard stare of a woman that is drenched in the blood of 7 men that were about to rape her until a random Nicole Kidman lookalike shot them all dead from 20 clicks away with a 45. Definitely going to be a little something like there, like some kind of a. Your day is going to be wrecked by being drenched in the blood of 7 dudes getting shot and killed right in front of you. Especially somebody who can look as cool and calm and collected about it as Our Lady right here, Zoe. Yes, yes, yes. It's certainly a reason to keep on looking at the progress of Justice for One. So until then, I want to thank you all for watching. Subscribe so the channel will reach 10,000 subs. Become a member today and shop at my art store with the first link in the description where you can buy my art or commission me or support me with a donation. And you can go and pre-order issue 3 of my comic book Encrypted, where a copy is $5, an autographed copy is $10, an autographed and sketched in copy is $20, or you can get a 1-year subscription for $60, or 1-year subscription with your copies autographed for $90. And tomorrow I'll have new shorts at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 and 6. I'll have a new video at 6:30, and I'll be live again at 10. So until then, felines, slam it, lick it, suck it, and See you, Space Cowboy.